Right. Ding, ding, ding. Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome.
Man, I got a black eye. No,
we're live because the pre-show conversation I just couldn't take anymore. Anyway, welcome to another edition of Roundtable, coming to you live from the WWDBTV studios in the heart of Las Vegas. That's the mouth, and boy, was he the mouth a few seconds ago. Rick, the fastest feet in the NFL he was running away from his comments.
Yes, I was.
Aaron, stay in the neutral corner. Like Phillips, because all hell's broken loose, and you know, as they always say, sometimes the best things happen when the microphones are not even live.
Well, the thing about it, you said you're the voice. You express nothing, voice. So, hey, man, don't go jump on us.
No, I'm not jumping.
Yeah, you was. Yeah, you was,
Listen,
man.
ask Rush Limbaugh. You can't because he's dead. But ask Rush Limbaugh what happens when you get labeled something for the rest of your life. You cannot shake those labels. I want to entertain. You guys can fight it out in your little corner.
Oh, you want to entertain? We were entertaining. We were talking about some good topics that everybody would get fluffed up about.
Didn't you notice while you were doing that, the internet was shut down, the lights went off, and said, you guys ain't going on the air?
Absolutely. We asked John to turn them back on, though, didn't he?
Let them be light.
That's right.
Joe Rogan and Cornel West.
Well, there you go. Just for that, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week right here on the Retinal. Listen, as you can tell already, discussions have been fun, fast, furious, but nonetheless, the best thing is, unlike The View with those ladies that are on every day, those ladies don't like each other. The three of us, we still love each other no matter whether we agree, disagree, or not. Right. It don't matter because you know why? Damn it! This is the show that values everybody's opinions except George because we don't really give a shit.
It. I know. That's right.
For so long.
Yeah, when you run for president, remember, you put yourself in a special pot to get cooked.
Now,
really?
Yeah, what's the difference between a politician and a mob guy? And I seem to be put in that, right there in that category.
There's no difference. Remember, guys will get eliminated if they go against a certain party or person.
Oh, hey, I told you. How many times did I tell you?
Listen, I know Frankie Citro. I can get him in here for an interview anytime you want to talk about the different stuff.
Hey, I had lunch with a couple of officers.
702-992-3207 is our number. If you want to join this crazy conversation, God help you, you better get a life.
And anyway, talking about mobsters, right?
Yes.
Podolzhin, whatever his name is, the Russian guy, Wagner, he developed that whole mercenary group that's gone around the country down in Africa, man, and done all kinds of things. He was the backup guy for Putin over there in Ukraine. Obviously, back in June or May, you know, he went against the autocrat there.
They talked him out of it.
In Russia.
They did. He turned back.
And now he gets eliminated. He falls out of the sky.
I will tell you, though, everybody's saying Putin, okay, most likely. But they say that wasn't his style. He usually has you poisoned or shot and thrown into a river. This is a plane crash with 10 other people on board. So that's kind of out of his style. He probably should have done it early, before the plane landed or before it took off. Why would you get the other 10 people?
Well, by the way,
go ahead.
I want to finish opening the show. May I do that?
Oh, my bad. My bad. Hey, man, we're foaming at the mouth, man.
You guys are like the racehorses in the gate, ready to go. Anyway, if you're watching us on Facebook, thank you very much. You got two channels to choose from. Of course, our channel, Roundtable, of course, Worldwide Digital Broadcasting. If you're on YouTube, guess what? Same two channels, so you don't have to worry about remembering any other names. If you're on the go, like right now, it's 4 p.m. here, 7 p.m. on the East Coast after dinner, things like that. Download the mobile app, WWDBTV, to your Android, WWDBTV LV to your iPhone. And, of course, in about 3 days, 72 hours or so, download the WWDBTV channel to Roku.
I'm glad you say all that stuff.
You think this isn't my first rodeo. Now you lost my train of thought. If you download it, though, you'll have many choices, what we love to call around here a plethora of shows with which to choose from, including the Roundtable. Now, with that, we now return you to your regular scheduled argument.
Regular scheduled argument on WWDBTV.com.
Can we have a bell?
Absolutely.
Every 3 minutes, you're going to go back to your corners.
They have shows like that where you have the bells.
I know they do.
But
it's called Pavlov's dog.
But this is crazy stuff, though, guys. I mean, this is telling you the type of person or persons that we're dealing with in this world. They don't care about life. They don't care about you. If you go against them, they will eliminate you, regardless of what loyalty you might have to them. And this is, like you said, this is mob stuff. This is like the mob and that whole deal, right?
That's it. Yes, sir. He's waving.
Speaking of mob stuff, I don't know if you guys have heard.
There's a museum in town.
Yes.
I've been there.
The Russian mob is saying, the Russian mafia is starting to say it's time for Putin to go.
I read that. They're getting tired of his antics too.
Yeah.
So, you know what? You live by the sword, you die by the sword. So eventually Putin may get taken out, maybe. You know, if he doesn't die of illness before, but he's in pretty good shape for his.
Yeah, well, what he's doing is, man, he's first of all, when he started the war, he's just pulling these young people off the streets, going to their houses and that whole deal, pulling them out of their homes and saying, you're going to fight this useless war just because I want to now extend the USSR back into what it used to be back in the day.
Can you imagine what he says? Do you love your mother and your sister? Come with me. You know, kind of like, you know, do you love your mother and sister and your family? Then come with me.
Yeah, and look at all the other guys that were going against him.
One who else did that? The Viet Cong.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, the one guy was given what? Nuclear poison? Something of that nature. He got awful sick. He was in the hospital, man, and he lived. A woman, I think, she ended up dying because they poisoned her off. Wait a minute. When the oil thing was going on, you know, with Ukraine and cutting off Ukraine as far as the oil was concerned, some of the big oil people there went against him. They found their families. The guys with their heads decapitated, they never found the family members. This is a dangerous freaking guy, man.
I just want the 80 billion.
Yeah, they fell out of the windows. Yeah.
I want the 80 billion back that we gave Ukraine. I'm sorry. I'm kind of selfish. What happens 5,000 miles away? It's a smaller world now. We have to be careful, but I want that 80 billion back, man. Couldn't you use some of that?
Well, I can use it. Certainly the CCSD teachers can in this town.
Right,
so that they don't strike on Saturday.
That's all. I'm not going to.
Here's the. I got to be honest with you guys. Okay, 1,000% honest. Mm-hmm. I have no idea what's going on with all of this, with this Russia stuff. Yeah. I mean, you sent it to me. This plane falls out of the sky.
Yeah, I follow it.
I have no idea any of this was going on. Do I lead a sheltered life? No, I just lead a busy life, and I miss that. I mean, I'm connected on social media with the best of them all. Oh, I had no idea any of this was going on.
I wish it was busier. If I was making movies or video.
For me,
sorry, I'm acting in a commercial. Sorry,
because of the business that I'm in and that whole deal. When you're talking about certain commodities and that whole deal,
that is
I look at exactly what's going on around the world, whether you do or not. Because once again, we are so close knit as a world. It's stupid.
Now we are
financially
so small. Yeah.
When you're talking about eating. Where do we get a lot of our wheat and stuff
Ukraine.
from? We get a lot of it from Ukraine. So everybody can stick their heads up their butt if they want. They can do that. But I'm going to pay attention to what's going on in this world.
Right.
That's just me.
Yeah, no, I do because I actually have an interest in that type of stuff. So I do on a casual basis. When I ran for president, I had to learn a little more because I didn't want to look stupid on the air, which didn't work.
Yeah, as John, we captured that on video all those years ago.
Oh, yeah.
On Vegas and Rap. Still, by the way.
We have to play that.
We should, absolutely. It's on the internet somewhere.
The show has been preempted.
That's right.
You
know what? We'll do it in November of 2024.
Oh, yes.
You still didn't send it to me. You said you were going to send it to me.
By the way, I do have breaking news, and it's a little diversion off of what we're talking about. For those of you in
Thank God.
Those of you
I didn't start it.
Those of you in the world of professional wrestling who are fans and follow the sport, earlier this week, I think it was yesterday, Terry Funk passed away.
Yes, he did.
However, literally breaking news within the last, right before I went on the air, I got some messages. Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotundo, who is the son of Mike Rotundo and part of that, the Barry Windham folks. Bray Wyatt, known as Bray Wyatt, he was passed away. And we're trying to confirm those reports, but WWE has it on their website. It's being reported all over social media, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more on Saturday on Thoughts Count Anywhere.
What was age range?
36.
Jesus.
Now, he was not on the air for about a year. There was, whether it's creative differences, some say he had some illness he was battling, but the other day I saw some videos. He was out in public. He looked great shape. He was signing autographs for people.
36.
So whatever happened sounds like it might have been very sudden.
Right.
Or God forbid any other stuff. Let's hope not. But anyway, so to the Wyatt family and to the Funk family, it's a shock.
It is
regarding Bray Wyatt today. Reports are trying to be confirmed, but that seems to be coming across the board. But anyway, sorry, I just wanted to mention that for those who
That's what we do. We do breaking news.
We do. Too. Hello, Billy Ball down in Texas. Speaking of breaking news,
Billy, I friended you on Facebook. I haven't heard nothing.
That's right. She doesn't call me back either.
I did too.
Me.
I said, hi, Billy. How you doing?
Well, I should put hi, friend.
That's
request.
She calls me every day.
That's because you buy from her. So, no,
I'm just kidding.
No. Anyway, so listen, you're right. Everything that goes on around the world affects everything everybody does around the world, and it'd be. I mean, how obviously, like you said, everything we get from the wheat and all that stuff coming from the Ukraine, and that war has been going on now. What, 2 years?
2 years,
right?
Yes, sir.
Our good friend. Well, I know you guys haven't met him yet, but Justin Buma, who is an 8-year-old nonprofit CEO. He started Heroes and Hearts, and his last trip overseas about 1.5 years ago, he wanted to go to Ukraine to help the refugee kids have a safe place to read books and settle down, but they couldn't get into Ukraine. So they went over into Poland where the refugees were coming over the border for safety. Mm-hmm. So Justin is now actually planning an event this weekend, which I'll get into that later. But everything has a cause and effect. And if anybody thinks that that's not the case, get your head out of the cave, folks, because everything we do has a cause and effect, whether you think about it or not.
Yes, it does.
I found that out today.
Billy wants to know who friended her. Both of these guys.
Yeah. Both. I did. I friended
Rick
you.
Upchurch and George Miklos. I didn't get
I have another page, Geo.
Looked like you were having
That's
fun.
My mob. I have a mob page, Geo.
Yeah. That's a mob page?
Yeah.
I just thought you got tired after spelling your name.
Well, no, I got tired of Mark Zuckerberg getting rid of all my accounts, so I had to start.
But Billy, I want to know when we're finally going to connect. I've called you, messaged you, and you're like ghosting me. You just don't love me anymore.
Oh,
I know.
Billy, you so fine. Billy, you so kind.
Who sings that song?
He did.
I did.
Rick. That's the only one.
Don't quit your day job, please. Whatever that may be, just don't quit it. All right. Wasn't that not Paul Abdul? There's the one hit wonder.
I know what the tune
Mickey,
part.
you're so fine. Right.
Oh God,
It was a one-hit wonder.
I'll call you at 3 a.m.
Don't call me. I'll go to voicemail.
That's when I'll.
All right, we're going to step aside for a first break a few minutes early because we do have a ton of topics to talk about tonight. We have a plethora. That's right. That's the secret word of the day.
It's a plethora.
We have health topics. We got sports topics. We got all sorts of good stuff, and maybe we'll be eating good with some pizza in the near future. Anyway, hey, we are the Roundtable. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
With our award-winning patented Ultimate 3-in-1, pack wrinkle-free in our innovative garment bag, generous duffel, and all-purpose day pack for incredible versatility. Experience easy wrinkle-free packing with quick access to travel essentials. Exclusively ours, an extension pocket for longer items or additional storage. Avoid check-in fees and lost luggage with our patented wraparound garment bag and duffel for a single carry-on. Easily hang the garment bag at your destination and use our duffel as a pop-up drawer. Back at home, the duffel and garment bag fold neatly into the day pack for compact storage. Travel smarter and simpler with Ultimate Luggage.
Got a good one going on.
You live in
here.
enemy
All
territory.
right, we went to commercial break,
first
but as you
game,
can tell, the arguing
which we
is
did
now switched to
in
Raiders
Denver.
and Broncos. I just
My
don't
friends are
get
gonna be
it.
there.
I don't get it.
My friends are gonna be there.
Since the Giants are way on the East Coast, we can't do anything
Well, they're
with
coming
them.
here
so-
this year, though. They're coming here in
really?
November, and I really,
Yeah, they
really-
are.
November 4th, I think, the first Sunday. My wife really wants to go. We have some family that may be coming out that are Giants fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my wife, please don't make any definitive plans because I really have no desire, with all due respect, to set my foot into that stadium and get my ass kicked because I'm wearing a Giants t-shirt.
Hey, I went to a Bronco game dressed in Raiders jerseys in Denver back in
But
the
that's
80s.
the Broncos. You're talking the 80s.
Well, that's the thing. There's
The
I'm a
black
Raider
and
guy in a Bronco.
the black
I
and
was-
silver. Yeah,
I was like scared to
but
death, but then I got my revenge back.
But the Broncos are not known for having fans that'll beat the crowd. They may taunt and yell at you, but you don't go into that stadium, correct me if I'm wrong, taking your life in your hands if you're wearing a shirt of the opposing team.
Now, if you go to Oakland,
well, if you were
that's
this is different.
You were special.
This is different.
The
Allegiant fan, the Raider fans now the last couple of years.
70,000 people can get into Allegiant Stadium. They got parking for 3,000. Yeah, I have no parking issues.
Carpool.
I have a 60-inch television. No lines for the bathroom. Any food that I want. You want to come watch the game by me? I'll charge you $10 to park it. $10.
And you can pause the game.
And I can pause the game when you have to go potty.
Oh, see, that's what. That's you know what
you know what they're getting. But you know what they're getting for seats there. My wife just already checked it out.
$1,000
for upper deck.
Yeah,
three bills.
Yeah,
for $300 upper deck.
Yeah, way up.
I'm sorry, I'm not sitting behind a pole changing the tire of every plane that goes over my head.
Telescope, you can't hear anything.
Right.
Beautiful stadium though.
I'm staying home, but you can come to my house. $10 to park, $10 for food.
I have to admit, when we went to go to the Raider games, I live near Green Valley Ranch, so my friend will come over. We'll go park the car at Green Valley Ranch. They have a shuttle there. $2 there, $2 back to the game. $4 round trip. They drop you off right there at the south entrance. Walk on in. Don't worry. When the game's over, you walk back out. You like how?
But still, here's the thing.
Come on.
The addition of 70,000 people is not ending up to 3,000 parking. So I don't care about Ubers. They still have to find their way to get close to the stadium.
That's right.
I have enough trouble with 4 or 5 people.
It's because you only have spots out there for one spot. It's a fight to get in and out there.
Right.
No, but seriously, I mean, the people that I went to, the family that I went and saw the Yankee game with when I was back east, okay, they're Giants fans. So we'll come out there, they'll come out here. And I told my wife, and you guys know my wife, Donna, you know my wife. You can call her, confirm. I told her, don't commit me to going to that stadium to see the game. Period.
I got you.
I said, number one, I had the anxiety of going in with 70,000 people parking, getting in, getting out of there, and all that other crap. I to me, I got the comfort of home.
No, I get it.
Listen, I went to Arizona to see
He'll be streaming in from the game.
Right, exactly. I went to Arizona to see the Giants play the Cardinals a few years back. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But the Raiders just make me sweaty.
I know.
Well, no, it's not because I think the Raiders are going to suck this year. They have no quarterback.
Yeah, here's the thing about it,
they
man.
do. They're going to, as soon as Garoppolo goes down, Mr. Aiden O'Connell is going to come in there.
Who?
Are you kidding me?
Do you know
Aiden McConnell?
Where did he come from?
Purdue, baby.
Purdue University. How many plays does he have in the league?
I'm just saying he looks good.
I'm asking you.
Look what happened to Love in San Francisco.
I'm asking him a question.
400 total passes, including high school, and he's now third string on a team that they traded him up for.
Garoppolo's not going to make it through the season. I understand that. I hope he does. I don't like to see any player get hurt because I played. I get it, but I don't think he's going to make it. So this Aiden O'Connell looked good. He's cool as a cucumber.
No, here's the thing about it. Here's where fans and George and all these guys.
Fans and George.
Let me tell you.
That's funny.
When you're talking about a quarterback and coming in against the third string and fourth string, and guys, wait a minute. Let me finish. And then he's going against guys that sat the bench their first and second year, and then they come out during the preseason and try to make the team, and he comes out and plays against them. Are you kidding me, man? What drugs are you on, dude?
Nothing yet. Wait,
I know.
Who's that quarterback with the big beard that was played for like 30 teams already in his career?
Fitzpatrick. He's gone.
That'll be the guy.
I love this, but he's great. He's retired.
The Raiders will call him back.
Because here's the thing about it: during the preseason, you don't see blitzes.
Of course,
you don't see anything.
We went undefeated last year.
You don't see anything. So therefore, you're going to talk about this kid coming out and beating up the first string. Yay! I just told you why.
They were playing flag football.
Come on, man. They had tutus on out there, bro. Come on, man.
It wasn't 3 threes. It was 2 twos.
And the guy at the pie place, those pies. He's a Raider fan, and I said, "Oh my goodness! Then you and George are going to have a great time, man.
You and I will secede.
We will. Yeah,
you guys can have.
Billy Ball says, "Sounds like a mess. We had ball games all weekend and 2 days of Metallica. It was horrible. 100,000 people for each Metallica concert and a good showing for the Raiders." Then Billy says, "Jimmy can just sit there and look pretty." Thank you, Billy Ball.
That's
There
it.
you are.
Yeah, well, Billy, you got hit it right on the head.
Speaking
okay?
of football,
Yes.
tell me about Reggie Bush filing a lawsuit
Oh,
against
yeah.
the NCAA to get his trophy back.
Reggie Bush. You go all
Yeah,
the
like
way back,
segue
what,
there.
to 2000?
15 years,
Yeah, 2005.
Yeah, more. 7.
And, you know,
18.
he complained about it from the get-go.
I remember.
He was like, it wasn't me. I did not take any money from anyone.
Why did they have the proof then? Why are they?
I don't know. But now, all of a sudden, the NCAA is getting awful scared because Reggie is saying, I'm going to sue you guys because now you've changed the rules where now you got NIL and these kids are getting more money than Carter's got liver pills. And I want my trophy back.
How old is he?
So why should they take his Heisman trophy
He should get it back.
at all? Period.
I don't know why they did
Especially,
that.
guys, when it wasn't him that accepted the money.
What I don't understand
think
is
there
why
was a
they
presumption
didn't.
there.
There has to be. Why did they do that if they didn't have solid proof that it wasn't him, it was his dad,
There was a
brother,
presumption.
Well, they don't
because of-
presume. You have to check into this shit.
Is presumptive a word?
I don't know, but you can't just presume that.
Notice I didn't say assume. I said presume.
Yeah, you have to.
But they believed that where there
To the
was smoke, there
investigation.
was fire. So if the father's getting whatever he was getting, okay, the thought was probably, well, if dad's getting it, I'm sure he's funneling it to Reggie somehow, indirectly, although it looks on paper that dad's giving it to
Now
him.
that's possible.
That's the only
maybe.
thing I can think about. Of.
Hey, son, you
And
need
I'm not
some
saying I
money.
agree with that.
No,
Right.
but here's the thing about it. Look, these colleges, gang,
Mhm.
they have more money than Carter's got liver pills again.
That's twice in 2
Yeah,
years.
That's
I've heard that
right.
saying
Because
in 30
I'm
years.
old school. I'm old
You
school.
might want to give that.
I've got a
Carter
plethora
now.
of Carter pills here in the studio.
He's
I-
Hey, wait. Everybody in the room got that
I
reference.
know.
though.
but I'm old school, right?
me too.
These colleges make so much money, guys, and so Reggie is sitting there saying, "You guys make all this money. Why would you care, NCAA,
Right.
whether I took a nickel or a dime?" Guys, honestly, I know because I couldn't even get a ticket to go back to my grandparents, their funeral.
I think that's.
I had
messed
to
up.
get it myself.
I think
And
part
if
of
I
it-
had taken a nickel,
part of that's messed up. I mean, I can't understand why they wouldn't allow certain
because they wanted to keep the amateur look as far as the college kids were concerned.
We could do that if, God forbid, at college, one of your teammates always, like the other day on the Tennessee Titans, the player's father died in an explosion in his house. Sometimes you just gotta, all right,
Yeah,
we'll
but you're
help
talking
him
about
out.
a pro team.
Yeah,
though,
but
that
still,
would do
even in
stuff like that.
college, same thing. Oh, poor Rick's grandparents died or whatever. Let's try to get him back home.
No, because you're talking about
That's a big deal. I mean, I don't
You're talking
understand
about
that.
the
You're not
Alabamas.
giving him $1 million.
wait. You're talking about the Alabamas. You're talking about the Ohio States.
I'm going to go sit over here. For
You're talking about the Georgias. You're talking about all of these schools back then. If they were the power conference, right?
Right.
The SEC and the Big Ten. So if they started giving kids money, that means that now they're going to draw all of the top 5-star, 4-star
I get it.
talent to their school,
Hell,
right?
Stetson Bennett made $5 million before he stepped.
And the word they gave me is that, hey, you come to my school, you get a great education, and then you can go out there and get a great job. Really? Are you serious, man?
So
I don't agree with any of it. I'm just saying, if
So-
there was a college kid had some issues at home and needed a few bucks, they should allow. Now they're giving. them-
Now they're doing it. But
Yeah.
why not back then?
I
Because
agree.
they want the NCAA. Oh, we got the perfect face. We don't allow, money going into the kids' hands because then they might throw a game or something of that nature.
Well, these
Give me
players
a
are getting
break.
rich now. Back then, I'm just saying, if a college kid was down on his luck a little bit, needed some help. with
NCAA
this and that,
oversteps their bounds.
I agree, totally.
Because when it came to the Joe Paterno, Jerry Sandusky thing,
Right.
terrible situation. But it was a civil matter,
Right.
not an NCAA matter that happened on, that the allegations, which were then found to be true, the NCAA imposed sanctions and cost Joe games. Whether he knew stuff or not, he took to his grave. I believe he did what he was legally obligated to do in reporting it. Be that as it may, Why does the NCAA have to step in, take games wins away from Joe Pa, take this down? It's a civil matter.
That's right.
And the NCAA crossed the line in terms of getting involved in that scenario.
Yes.
NCAA, guess what? They're going to be down to 4 conferences soon, and ain't nobody going to give a shit about any other team out there except for the teams in the 4 major conferences.
That's right.
And that's going to kill NCAA football.
Right. Now, do you think – I agree with all that.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Can I read Billy's comment, though?
Yeah, go ahead, Billy.
All right, Billy. Interrupting us.
Billy says she shows up rarely and she's interrupting us. She says, I want you all to do a show about the men who dipped their wicks into a Kardashian Jenner and all the mess that followed each of them thereafter.
Wow.
My goodness.
I'm open to that.
Hey, Billy.
Well, that's going to cross into a line that you don't like, and that's the transgender line, George.
Well, Caitlin or Bruce, I still call. I get confused.
See?
Bruce, Caitlin. I'm sorry, I get confused with all this. It just bothers me. But what do you do?
Anyway, so I just need to get that in for a moment.
I was going to say, do you think paying college athletes, let's just say some of them that are not that great, but they get just enough, they make a couple $1 million and then they don't go pro?
Well, but here's the thing.
I'm just asking, how do you feel about that?
I'm asking. No, I'm going to ask you this question.
You got Stetson Bennett. He's worth $5 million just now, not with the Rams.
Every time you have to do that every time you say.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question. Seriously. When you played ball,
yes, sir.
Did you get room and board?
I did.
Did you get scholarships?
I did.
Okay. In the eyes of many people,
okay,
I'm not saying I'm one of them just yet until I see Rick's reaction to my comment.
Yeah, then you'll change it.
People will believe that you getting those benefits was payment, some form of payment.
Okay.
Agree or disagree to an extent? I'm just curious.
I agree to an extent. Okay. Yes.
So, in a way, no. That's okay. I mean, he went through it. I didn't. Well, I still am a believer that should be part of the compensation package for a player who's going to come and put their helmet, your Seminole or the white helmet or whatever it is. Right. Or what's a Boilermaker? Anyway, it's a drink. Anyway, so
but that's not my call.
Anyway, but now you have to look further because now we see the results physically. We see the results of what's happening to these bodies because the level of play is at a level today that is classified very differently than when Rick played. Football is football. Collisions are still collisions.
Right, 50 years ago or today.
Right.
I get it.
But I think what's happening is there's so much money in there, rightfully so. The players who are the ones bringing in the revenue. For Penn State, if it wasn't for their football program, the basketball program would be playing on the city lot somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of major colleges are that way.
Yes.
Very few are lucky to have both basketball and football together.
What about the Penn State swim team?
I know. Well, do they have one? But the wrestling team is pretty damn good, too.
Yeah.
My point, though, is this. There are all these athletes. I don't care if it's in badminton, if it's in horseshoes or whatever it is. If they're putting their bodies on the line like that with repercussions down the line that could be negative, by all means, why not give them some compensation?
Right. You're short. Your lifespan in that sport's not long.
Correct.
Well, not only even that. When I went to the University of Minnesota, right? I don't have any money in my pockets, right? I don't have 2 nickels, 2 pennies to rub together, right? Mm-hmm. I got a girlfriend, right? Mm-hmm. I have a girlfriend.
Does she know?
Yeah. Well, she wasn't. Yeah, but anyway. But and so
she wasn't born yet.
Yeah. Right. And so my girl and so my girlfriend is saying this. Hey, let's go bowling tonight, or let's go to a movie tonight. And I can't.
Right. You don't have $20, $30 to
I mean, come on, guys. I can't even take my girl to go and have some Red Barn chicken.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't do anything. Right. I'm stuck just playing football and going to class in my room with no social.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Did she offer to pay it all? Just curious, once or twice?
No, she said, you're a football player. You should be able to take me. So you take me. And I said, okay.
And you found the money.
So here's the bottom line. Does Reggie Bush win his case? Does he get his trophy back? What do you think?
I think so.
You think so?
I think he should get his trophy back. I don't think he's part of the infraction. I think it was his mother and father that were involved. They can't prove that he got any money from them or anything. And they can't disprove it. Right. So it's a neutral thing as far as that's concerned.
When is the court case, do you know? When it goes to trial?
No,
I'm not. I'm
just curious.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What would be the point? Whoever offered them money, the parents, mom and dad, the uncle, what would be the point? What are they trying to do to get close to Reggie Bush or give money to? What are they going to do? What was their objective or their intention? If they weren't going to give money to Reggie, what were they hoping that giving money to the family was going to do? What were they trying to?
That's why I think that there was a supposition by
Was
the
there?
NCAA, and I don't know what kind of position
We'll give
his
you the
family was
money,
in.
and we'll give Reggie a bunch
Yeah,
of
but
A's
I
in a
don't.
car.
Do
your
we know?
name.
Does anybody remember where the family was financially when Reggie was in college?
No.
Did they need the money? Did they need a new house? I don't know. I
we don't
asked
know.
that rhetorically.
Yeah.
But I think that's why there was a supposition that if they were not, steel mining owners making gazillions of dollars a year, here's some money, Bush family.
Right.
Okay, it's probably a lot more than you need. But use whatever you have, and whatever you do with the rest is up to you.
Again, 17 years later.
Yeah, but
That's
no,
what bothers me.
timing on it's like the Michael Orr thing. Last week we talked about it.
Exactly.
All these years later, okay, does he deserve the trophy back? If I do believe
That's
so.
your football field. That was your football career.
Correct.
You got that trophy because of what you did on the field, period.
Pete Rose.
Right.
Yeah, same with Pete Rose.
Right.
He should be in the hall
Right.
based
By the
on
way,
what he
he had
did.
his trophy taken away. Did he have all of his records taken out of the
Yes.
So he had everything taken out.
Everything.
He was erased.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Like he never
You
existed.
perform that on the field, you're right. You should have the right that
Absolutely.
maintains. Because the Hall of Fames, all of them on the national level,
Absolutely.
it's not a hall of fame of good people. It's not a hall of fame of non-drinkers. It's not a hall of – it's what these people did on the field performing their sport. I'm not a fan of Barry Bonds. I don't believe he's in the Hall of Fame because he had help. And he may never get in because he had help. It was, in my opinion, only.
Is Mark McGwire or Sammy Sosa in?
No.
They're not in
No.
either.
And the writers' committee will
Roger
probably never let
Clemens?
him in.
He's not in?
Okay.
He's not in.
Yeah.
Rafael Palmeiro. I never took steroids. A week later, he took steroids.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something naturally to perform, and I'm not saying there aren't, things and ointments and creams you need to do to feel better, bruises,
Right,
bumps,
sure.
but PEDs, and I got into a discussion with this with a former show host who was a professional athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was taking PEDs back in the day to recover. Marijuana, everything. I get all of that. That's fine. Unless it somehow improves your performance on the field. Derek Jeter is a Hall of Famer, and he never did any of that. He played to skill for Michigan. Was he the best? I think he was. As a Yankee fan, that's tainted. And whoever was the one vote that didn't vote him in unanimously, I'm sending Frankie Citro out after your ass. I know you're from Boston somewhere. I'm going to find you and bury your ass. Anyway, so to me, he deserves it all back. Paterno was, they reversed the Paterno decision, which is unfortunate that they reversed it after he died.
Yes.
Now the trophy, the big statue's up. He's back to the winningest coach.
They did.
They had years ago. So they put all that back.
Well, that's
in.
the punishment. Do it after they.
And
die,
that's
so
why
they,
Pete Rose will get into Hall of Fame after
he dies.
6 months later, just like
Yeah.
Kenny Stabler
Yeah.
or Cliff Branch.
Exactly.
Oh, tick, tick. Oh, he's
Yep.
dead. Okay,
Well,
let him in.
who's making these? First of all, who's making these decisions? These are guys
The
that have
writers.
probably
30
never
years
ever
old.
even
Right.
stepped out on a field,
And they
swung a
weren't alive
baseball
back
bat.
then.
They never punted a ball.
All they
They've
did
never.
was they reported on it.
Only thing they did was report on it. I want you to actually have had the opportunity to go out, man, and perform some of this stuff. Go through the training, man. Go through the training camp in that Odell. And then your mindset might change a little bit about these guys going into the Hall of Fame game because they put in the work. They put in the time. No matter what they did off the field, man, and that Odell. Look, nobody's perfect. Only thing I'm saying is that these writers, right, and all these broadcasters, we don't know what's in their closet, right? They just didn't get caught.
Well, look at how long
by
it
the
took Jim Rice to be inducted. All because the writers that he dealt with did not like him. He had a chip on his shoulder, never did interviews, had a chip on his shoulder, and for all those years, they never voted him in.
Yeah.
Okay. So the writers have that power
They do.
to incorrectly not vote somebody in because they were upset that they didn't get a soundbite after a playoff series.
Yeah, you know
and
what I'm
hold
saying?
that as a grudge.
Yeah, they did that
bullshit.
with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
Absolutely.
as well. Kareem did not do interviews, right, with the reporters.
So that
Odell,
was tomorrow.
and so that ticks them off.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, if you don't sit down with the reporters in that Odell, you get fined.
Right.
What a bunch of
Bunch
of crap
quick
is that,
topic.
man.
I
Really?
wanted-
Yeah.
I want to do.
Well, that's why they have those press nights at the Super Bowl. Where all
Right.
the players have to.
What
go to
amendment
the
is
press.
that about your speech? Was that the Second Amendment?
It was I forget the amendment.
I do want to congratulate a former teammate of Rick's.
Yes.
I think I sent you guys.
did.
Randy Gradishar
Right.
is going in. I have to. Hey, I grew up in that era. I hated the Broncos. I still do today. But Randy Gradishar, it's overdue.
Sure he is. He's absolutely overdue. Look, let me give you some 411. That whole
by far.
that whole 77-78 team that went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Let me tell you this. first time going to the Super Bowl, first time winning the AFC West, and we came right back and won the Western Division again, and then we went back to the playoffs again the next year. So 3 straight years, man, we went back to the playoffs in that ODL. There should be more players right now from that era that should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. One of them I'm going to speak about is Louis Wright. Louis Wright was the shutdown corner before you even talked about a shutdown corner. The kid was phenomenal. First round draft choice for the Broncos, made an all-decade team, and you're going to tell me that he's not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? This is a sham, gang.
I can tell you stories too about you when I was in the military school. The Rangers. Why are they kicking to him? Why are they? Next thing you know, 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. I'm like.
You realize he goes to withdrawals because of that.
I'm looking at him. I was getting ready to pat him on the back.
Right. I just started a hashtag movement in the chat room. Please share it, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag Rick Upchurch NFL HOF. Let's make that a movement, shall we please? Billy Ball says, writers believe their piddly opinions are golden law, and most of them couldn't catch a cold or throw anything except a hissy fit. I love it.
I love it. Hey, Billy, I'm loving you more, girlfriend. I love exactly what you're talking about.
Real quickly, I want to touch on 3 just
You're going to have to put up with that.
Just headlines in the sports world before we move on to some health topics.
I look out for my boys.
Number 1, Yankees lost 9 games in a row, which is the first time since 1982. However, they won in big fashion last night.
They did.
Aaron Judge hit 3 home runs in the game. They won 7-0.
So
If they had lost 10th game, it would have been the 10-game win streak, first time since 1912.
Who did they play last night?
The Nationals.
Since the Titanic sank, they would have sank it quicker than the Titanic.
They're sinking already. Jim Harbaugh, even though the NCAA threw out their request on what they, as in the Wolverines have suspended him for 3 games at their own, with more to come with their violations.
All the stories that I sent, that's the one I didn't really get to go through, so I'm not sure why even they're doing that.
Well, they have to, because it was recruiting violations last year. But it is what it is. So what happened is that the stuff went to the NCAA.
Right.
They were investigating, and the season's getting ready to start. So Michigan sent in a proposal to the NCAA that constituted actually 4-game suspension and some other things that they were going to do
to avoid
the NCAA. Well, the NCAA rejected their proposal. So Michigan doesn't want to stand there making it look like they're doing nothing in response to this. So they're going to say, all right, we're going to at least suspend him for the first 3 games of the season in the meantime,
and see
what everything else falls out. Last but not least, Formula One racing. You guys all know Formula One's coming here next year. Yeah. We reported on the fact that all businesses that are within the 3.2-mile race thingamajiggy will be charged a fee of what I saw, $50,000 per person per business.
Yes.
You guys can all do the multiplication on that. However, big shots the F1. They did what? What did they do, George?
They chop it. They decided that, okay, we're not going to build the barriers. We'll make it a little less for you to
you know what they gave as a discount? $1,500 off that $50,000, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
$1,500.
And nobody's going. They're expecting 300,000 people.
That's another race I ain't going to see.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get around.
3.2 miles. That's why all the roads are under construction. You can't get around the strip.
And I would
drop a cat. I mean, it's that's another thing I'm not going to. With that, we're going to step aside for a quickie break. We got a few health topics. America Speaks, and God only knows.
We are a health show.
That's true. Well, no, we're not just. We are not just a health show.
We are
goulash.
We
like to talk about.
We're goulash.
Right. We are mutts.
Yeah, we have a mix of all of it.
John, take us to break because these guys are going to keep arguing. Hey everybody, I am Aaron Phillips. You are?
I'm Governor Val Brown Klingelhofer.
And we host what kind of show?
We host the most fabulous show on this network you've ever seen. It's all about Kiwanis and what's going on in our different cities.
And Kiwanis Connects is the title, and you can watch us every Friday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, right on Facebook or WWDBTV. Say goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Aloha.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas, and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronshour.vegas and book me for your next event or training needs.
Bingo.
Hi.
Hey.
We're just being told that are people messaging you now that they can't?
No, that's just me. I mean,
did you pay your internet bill?
yeah, heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Everything.
Hey, man, you're talking about a paid king over there.
I got you. All right, welcome
Queen.
back. We got about, 21 minutes to survive the rest of the show over here.
20 and a half.
20 and a half. Thank you, John. All right, before we get it, you have America Speaks topic ready?
I have a couple of them.
Is it anything that you sent us already? I don't want to touch on anything that you may have already.
No, actually, there's a couple that have
That are different. All right, good. So let's start with this one. Stretching can make you stronger. You were just referring to a little story before we went on the air, George.
Well, stretching is very good for anybody. It doesn't matter what age you are. I stretch. I have one of them teeter hang-ups. I do all that. I feel so good. But no,
Don't tell us about your sex life.
Right.
Just get to the story.
Hey, all I talked about was a damn. This is whatever. I don't even remember what I said.
You guys have taken me off.
But
the
yeah.
tonight.
So stretching is very good for you. It helps circulate the blood. It helps with keeping you loose and have a good vigor. You move your arms around, stretch your shoulders. They have little stretching exercises for no matter what age you are. There is a quick story that kind of ties in with this. I just saw that Kevin Hart. We know who Kevin Hart is,
right?
He is 44.
Man, barbecue.
He's not old, right? Yes, thank you. He's not that old. He's 44, but not a professional athlete. So he's got a couple of friends that are former retired NFL guys, and they're only 10 years younger. They retired, but I guess Kevin Hart used to run track and was fairly fast when he was younger. So at a barbecue, they were, who knows, drink a couple of beers, smoke a joint, whatever.
How fast that guy has to run because his legs are only like
right.
7.5 inches long.
Right. Well, apparently he didn't do very well in a 40-yard dash against a former NFL player that was 10 years younger than him. So I guess he tore his abdomen. I don't know how you tear your abdomen running a 40-yard dash.
How do you tear?
He tore his abdomen. There's another name.
In college,
just kind of.
My 40 in college was my fastest time that I ever ran was 4.25.
Jesus.
Yeah, 4.2.
In high school, I ran at 4.4 as a tight end.
Yeah. High school, I was running 4.3.
You know what a 4 point, even 4, anything under 4.5 for anybody. Even linemen are running 4.8s and 4.9, which is fast.
Right.
I mean, my God.
Right. So how do we rip a?
But I don't know how you rip an abdomen. But he's out. He's at 6 to 8. I'm assuming 6 to 8 weeks.
Is it surgery? Is it a tear, or is it just?
No, he's just said that
a pull.
Yeah, or
maybe he was swinging his arms too much, trying to get a little momentum.
But he said 6 to. He goes, well, I'm out for 6 to 8.
But here's the thing about it. You know what a lot of people don't do. They don't stretch their hips at all. They neglect their hips in that whole deal, loosening those hips up, because when you're squatting, when you're doing all of those things, right, leg press and all of those things,
squats,
what you're doing, what you're doing is you're tightening up your hips.
Have you ever pulled your gluteus maximus muscle?
Yeah, absolutely.
Monday we did lunges.
Yeah.
Man, I pulled something I didn't know I had in my right back pocket there.
Yeah.
And it's still hurting me.
One of the stretches I like is specifically for footballs when we were in pads and the helmet, you had to get on your back and you pull your neck and you stretch your neck. Your helmet would be on the back of the that kind. You could stretch. A lot of stretching. It helps anybody age, even seniors.
But here's what some people do, right? When they first jump into it, it's like jumping into a cold car, man, in Colorado, right? Yeah, exactly. In the wintertime.
Just hit the gas.
And you just start stretching, and you start stretching real hard. And if you've been lifting, those muscles, man, are tight like this, right? The minute, man, you exert too much energy on that muscle, it's going to do this.
It's like a rubber band.
It's like a rubber band.
Yeah.
But eventually, if you just stretch it and you do a little bit at a time, then you extend those muscles out in that whole deal, and they get lubed up with the fluids that are in there.
Right. Get the
blood flowing. So folks, understand this. You got to warm up before you start stretching.
You know what I think we should do one Thursday night? I think one Thursday night, the three of us should come in and workout gear. John moves the table for us. Well, John moves the desk for us, and I think we do a show entirely dedicated to stretching and getting the body ready for a day.
Hey, we used to
Hosted
stretch.
by you, and we'll be your classmates.
Yeah, you'll
I'm
be,
down like 4 flat tires on a dump truck. How you like that?
Where do you come up with this stuff, man?
I don't know. My tire pump would never pump up a dump truck.
I can tell you this.
Although I am doing a commercial for a company called Air Moto.
There you go. See, there you go.
I'll tell you this. I can run faster than most cops I've met.
Because they don't want to spill the coffee and donuts.
In today's world, when I see some police officers, and bless them all, but some of them I'll go, how the hell did they get through the police academy? How the hell did
depending
they make
on how
it?
old they are, that tells you the
Well,
difference.
even in some of the shape that I'm thinking, wait a second.
But
How
remember,
did he get his belt on?
But remember, a lot of these guys, like they said, when they get up in the morning or they have the late shift, they're at the donut shop, man.
Yeah,
right.
And that's part of their consistent diet. And when you have donuts on a consistent diet, what happens? And you're sitting in your car most of the time.
Yeah,
you're sitting back and you're waiting on something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So coming soon
Krispy
to a
That's why
show.
they shoot so
Krispy
many
Kreme, here
people,
we
but-
come.
Out of anger,
can't run
they
them
can't
down.
chase them, right? So, coming soon to a show near you, our very own Richard Simmons over here is going to put us and all of you out there in your paces.
Make sure
Okay,
he's
so-
okay with that.
Who?
Richard
I
Simmons.
just asked him.
Oh,
Were
you
you
asked
not
me?
sitting
You
next
just
to me
said
when
it.
I said,
He said he's
you know what I
got
think we
like
should
four
do? And he
flat
said
tires
down
on
But
like
you
a
didn't,
duck.
yeah, but you didn't say Richard Simmons. I'm like, hey, with our own Richard Simmons. I didn't hear that part.
As a matter of fact,
have you ever heard of a comparison?
Yeah, but I wouldn't compare
I have
Rick
nothing
Upchurch
against
to Richard Simmons.
I have nothing against Richard Simmons. As a matter of fact,
Me neither,
I
but-
used to watch him all the time because I
got-
liked how he did it. I
Right.
liked what he did. He
Did
got
you have hair
everybody
like
in
him?
On your
shape.
feet,
Huh?
a lot of
Did you have
working.
hair like Richard Simmons too?
I
one time?
have never, ever. I had an afro.
Did you have the fro?
I had an afro, big one.
Couldn't get the helmet.
Mine was wiry and
You're gonna get
stiff,
the
bro.
helmet
You know what I'm saying? His was loose and flowing.
What do we got up there? Love watching. What does it say? Cops and seeing the cameraman have to show them where the perp is. On Patrol Live does the same thing, by which I love that show. All right, let's keep going. Let's stay with health.
Okay.
Water retention. We all suffer from water retention every once in a while.
Do you?
Uh,
Do you guys?
when I was diabetic.
Or are you just
for sure.
saying that? I'm just
No. I think at some point, like for me, because you guys may or may not remember, I mean, I have a kidney issue. So I do have to watch my output of liquids. I do have to drink so that but I know, like when I was diabetic and heavy, my legs, my ankles, they were
I just
swollen.
learned today. You know what the kidney's main function is to keep
Right.
the fluids in your body
It's like the
flowing
engine, yeah.
and keep it clean.
Moving the fluid, yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's times in what I read about, again, there was times in my life, I'm overweight a little bit still, but every once in a while, if you sit too long or if you eat salty foods, chips, peanuts, that kind of thing, or you have sodas, that kind of thing, it can at times, and every once in a while, it doesn't really happen. Thank God it goes away. You know, when I start walking and work and doing 10, 15,000 steps a day, it goes away. But every once in a while, when I go on when I'm sitting around for a few days not doing anything, sometimes it depends.
Yeah.
Thank God I don't have any kidney issues that I know
But too
of.
much salt will do it in your diet if you're
sugar,
not
And
processing.
they didn't
but-
say you have to
so
get
how does
rid
it,
of it.
So how does it say
Gosh.
to prevent it?
The body is the perfect computer game.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you drink water and if you take a walk,
That's it. Water,
right,
water,
or jump on an elliptical or a walking
But
machine.
you have to move it. You
What
just
I-
don't jump on it.
Yeah, you don't. Right. What you do is through everything, through
Right.
your pores and everything. When you sweat, you're eliminating the water out of your system, along with what? Along with the toxins, gang.
Right.
And a lot of folks don't do a lot of exercising, man.
That's it.
how you eliminate the water out of your system outside of your, urinating
Right.
and those type of things.
Water
and
and
crying and that whole
exercise.
deal. Water and exercise, man, will certainly, man, get that out of your system. You gotta sweat,
I haven't
man.
done a lot of
You
crying
go to the
recently. I
sauna.
probably should.
Go for a walk. Do something, man, where that stuff comes through your pores and eliminates all
Right.
of those toxins out.
Yeah, sweat.
Or
and
walk
water.
outside.
Yeah, or even walk outside. Yeah,
Right.
either way.
So how does it say in the article to prevent it?
Well, like I said, mention
Just keep drinking
just drinking some water and
Moving.
Just don't eat salty foods. And you know
Okay.
when you sit back in your chair, you sit too long, you're going,
Yeah, you
sometimes
get
the
stiff.
food will say- they said feet and ankles, sometimes people's hands,
Yep.
and the faces. Sometimes you retain.
Right.
Yeah, just certain things you can do, or maybe
Okay.
go to your doctor. Maybe there's a prescription that might
Just water
help if
pills and
there's-
things like that
yeah.
that can help. I will say this though: if drinking water is important, I don't care what
Huge.
time of
And
year that it
exercise.
is. But if you find yourself being thirsty, then you're already dehydrated.
Right.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy.
It
so
is.
you can't really wait until you're thirsty or the dry mouth because you've already reached the point of
too late.
dehydration.
Right.
You should be drinking all day. Now, for me personally, this time of year, I can drink till the cows come home. When the weather's cooler, even if I'm working out, I find it a little more difficult to get as much water down at that time of year as it is now because I'm producing more.
When water tastes the best when you're thirsty. Isn't that? But it's already
no.
too late.
You're right.
But we're talking about retaining water, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about retaining water in our bodies.
Yeah.
So that means we got to get rid of it, right?
Right.
We got to get rid of it. So how do you get rid of the water in your body?
Peeing, crying. I don't know. Really?
No,
Drink lots of
yes.
Drink
You
lots of beer.
And remember, understand this. Here, and whether it's in Denver or whether it's here in the desert, you're losing fluids everywhere through your eyes, through your nose, through your mouth. You're losing it everywhere, gang. These are facts.
Yeah,
These are scientific facts in that old deal. So know that when you don't think you're dehydrated, man, you're dehydrated. Yeah. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
All right, last piece of health news before we go real quickly to some America Speaks bread, pasta, and some other favorite foods. Can actually lead to brain damage, George.
Maybe that's why I'm so stupid. Spaghetti and bread and rye. It's the protein. It's gluten. It's protein that's in bread, rye. Mm-hmm. I love all that stuff. Maybe that's why I might have brain damage already. I eat spaghetti and bread.
Let me ask a question. Our grandparents and great-grandparents and that old deal, that's all basically that they ate, right? Mm-hmm. And they lived long lives, didn't they? Yeah. They lived long lives. So why now all of a sudden, because we put chemicals in all of our foods, is it being bad for us now? Chemicals. Right?
What is it?
Chemicals.
That's what we chemicals.
Yeah.
You're making me question
and
stuff.
And so
chemicals.
With all of those chemicals, guys, it's got to be the problem. Because once again, our children today are growing up. They have beards by the time they're 12 years old.
That is crazy.
And the girls, man, they're walking around with 39D bras.
And they're walking up to, hey,
with deep voices. So guys, it's got to be
they sound like Caitlyn Jenner.
It's got to be what's in the food.
Right.
We were just talking with a gentleman where we went to eat in that deal. And he says, guys, what we do is we do everything here naturally.
Yeah.
We know what our chickens are. We know what our greens are. We know what everything is so that you're getting the best of what you're eating.
Absolutely. And it's a tough transition. All right, before we go to America Speaks, I'm going to say this. America Speaks tonight is brought to you by Heroes and Hearts. This Sunday, our good friend Justin Bouma is doing a fundraiser, rock, paper, scissors tournament. Opening it to, I know, I can't tell, 12 p.m. over at Discovery Children's Museum. $9 for kids 12 and under, $19 for everybody over 12. It's a 3-hour tournament. In order to raise funds for Justin to go build a safe place in South Africa for children who have no books to read. Okay, so come on down. Yours truly, although I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm supposed to be emceeing this event, and I've never covered rock, paper, scissors as a tournament before. I was an evens odds, guys. Were you guys evens and odds or rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
It was too hard for me. It was too hard for me to think who covered rock and then the scissors. And 1, 2, 3, shoot. Odds and evens. Anyway,
if you can do 1, 2, 3, you can do rock, paper, scissors.
No, I can't. I grew up next to the Bayway Refinery, which was Exxon gas. No, I can't.
Since you're bringing that up,
anyway, that's Sunday.
A year ago, I went to an NFL party at a tent house up at the Aria, and they had a rock, paper, scissors contest. I won first place and $500 right
It's because no one else went against him.
I know that's
all
right.
Time. It is time as we go out with 7 minutes to go. It is now time for America Speaks.
America Speaks.
Jump the shark there for
7 minutes. That's my record. All right, guys. Here we go. As we all know, is there any male Swifties out there? I haven't met any. God help me all.
Wait a minute. I have so many ways I want to go with that, but I'm not going to in the interest of time.
Being in the business, you guys, I work in the security business here in Las Vegas.
Yep.
And we do concerts and all that stuff.
So far, the city has not been stolen. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much. Well, Taylor Swift concert security.
Yes.
Okay, we're talking about, when you go Taylor Swift, U2, all these concerts, we always have security. You have a lot of them, and make sure that these guys are there to
protect.
Yes. Again, you do have some of these guys that are fans of the particular artist that they're working for.
Mm-hmm.
Working for, not watching or hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, a Taylor Swift concert security guard got fired in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, by the way. He was singing along.
It's your fault.
He was right there in the barricade. The stage is right there, and she's behind him doing her thing. And before the show, he had passed out little notes to concert goers saying, "Hey, if you see Taylor Swift behind me, just take a photo just for posterity."
Like a selfie kind of
thing.
thing.
So I won't do it. I won't pull my phone out,
right?
Which you're not allowed to do. You're there to watch the audience. You don't watch the show. So he had a couple pictures taken, and they sent it to him through social media, and then he posted them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the security job didn't like that, so they fired him. So this guy went online, made his own video about how, I was, and he was one of those Swiftie guys. He's a Taylor Swiftie guy. So here's some of the comments. Okay, here's the anecdotes. Breaking news: Nutty Rent-A-Cop gets fired. So these are comments from this guy that got fired because he was watching the Taylor Swift and singing along to one of her songs. God forbid somebody's getting stabbed in the first row.
He's singing along, but his
that's
eyes,
okay. Keep doing what you're doing.
He's facing the right way.
So Roger, 2192. Ha ha ha! Oh no, such a fruitful career lost. And the fruitful line was because of the guard himself. If you see the video, you'll understand. Some guy named Charles Spurgeon. Singing wasn't the issue. It was watching the show instead of the audience. Simply can't do that.
But he wasn't watching the show.
Well, apparently, I guess he had turned his head a little bit.
Oh.
Then he posted what he did. He wanted this to be seen. He doesn't care about being fired. Okay, my 2 cents.
How much does the security guard make?
No, I was waiting for you to say.
Well, in Minneapolis, 15, 16, 17
But I was
bucks an
waiting for you
hour.
to say that his family set up a GoFundMe account. He's got $1 million
Right.
in it, and we're all sitting here wondering what the hell we're doing.
Right, I'm going to go Taylor Swift concert. No, but you'd rather go instead of paying $1,500 a ticket. You get paid to go to work it.
But your head's to the stage.
Right.
You can't watch shit.
Now, my 2 cents worth. She'll write her next big hit song based on this incident. She'll add on to her big, massive mansion because of all the dough this new song will take in just because.
And he won't see a penny.
Right, he won't see a dime of it. He'll be on the unemployment line. Some guy, 101AB, apparently he doesn't really care too much about this particular subject. Had corned beef and cabbage for dinner. I may be able to duplicate one of her songs. Okay. Got time for a couple more? What do you guys think? I mean,
I was just thinking about what you're saying about the security guard, where their backs are to the performer because they got to watch the crowd.
You have to train yourself just like a football game.
Well, I was just going to say,
crowd going crazy, touchdown, and you can't.
I was just going to say, when you watch football games, you don't really see it in baseball because there's no guards, but you have everybody there. Those poor security guards, their backs are to the field. And as a fan of football, man, that would drive me nuts. That I'd be trying to look up at the scoreboard for the replay at least. But that's.
Well, here's one guy, I-73. He signed up to be security detail to be able to see her perform without having to pay for an actual ticket.
Why do you think people
He's
are
a
ushers
software engineer.
But why do you think people are ushers in Broadway plays and all that stuff?
Right.
They get paid, and
Well,
they have an opportunity to see.
Well, being an usher or a greeter is different than security. That kind of.
But the concept of being paid to go see something for free is still the same.
Right.
In my opinion. I'm not being paid anything. I'm still doing the show for free.
Right. Yeah.
We're all
right. Dude, what do you think? You think I'm this close to the unemployment line? What do you do? I'm a radio talk show host.
Yeah. Oh, Chief, wait a minute. Chief is in the house, co-host of TCA. Whenever we get to a topic that is something that he thinks is a waste of time, and rightfully so, he looks up, looks at Matt, looks at me, and goes, "Who cares?"
Right.
So he has 2 words for our topic with Swifties. Who cares?
Right. Really, everybody.
I know.
But she's worth
Chief,
$7 million.
But can I ask a question though?
You can ask any question.
I'm not a Taylor Swift
You're not
fan.
a Swiftie?
I'm not a Swiftie. What
Is
has
that
made
those floor
what?
things?
Tell me what made her so popular with the fans that she
Well,
can sell out all of these shows.
well,
What is it about her music and that deal? Because I don't know.
Most of her fans are young girls.
She's
She's
a
been
pop
around
artist.
about 10, 12 years now.
She's a pop artist.
She started
Can you-
She's like the Barbie doll.
Yeah,
I mean,
she was
is
like
that what she's
16, 17 when she started. So all of her
Yeah.
fans were young girls. teenage, empowerment girls, and she's singing about. Well, the bad thing is most of her songs are about bad breakups. I mean, she's only 33 and been with like 35 guys. So she had like 35 boyfriends. They all lasted like 6 weeks each. And then she writes a song on it.
I wonder why.
But she's making millions off those songs.
Well, a lot of the songs, a lot of her audience can relate to it. Oh, Tommy broke up with them.
Actually, Billy's right on. This is what would make us all successful: top-notch grooming and marketing.
Right. I'm not going to say she's not talented because she plays little mini instruments.
Right. No.
And she's very generous with money.
Yeah.
John.
Okay. She is one of the most successful business women in the music industry.
You see her on commercials.
Do you know that she gave, at the last concert, she gave every one of her
that's what it
people
just
that
said.
worked there
Said it was generous
$100,000
for the truck drivers. There was like 55 truck drivers.
Everybody that worked at that concert.
Well,
she gave out over $55 million.
But to me, honestly and truthfully, that's not new marketing. That type of marketing has been going on forever.
Oprah Winfrey's been doing it forever.
Right, been doing it forever. Michael Jackson, he did it forever. Janet Jackson.
Come to see us, and I'll give you a bunch of pens for free.
Right.
All right.
So
no hats?
Need more pens.
We got to wrap up, guys, with the top of the hour. I don't mean to cut you off.
No.
Finish your thoughts.
It's over already?
Yeah, and John's going to kick us off if we don't get done.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we keep talking. We just won't be on the air. I got a key to the studio.
Hello.
I forgot to push record.
Oh, crap. We get to do it again?
A whole freaking hour.
All right. Anything else? So that's it for America Speaks.
That's
Swifties,
it.
listen.
Try to keep it soft.
Keep your backs to the stage and don't talk to the fans. That's all.
So
and if you like Taylor Swift, go to her concerts, man, and have a good time.
I had Sammy Hagar flip me off, but he was flipping me off as a security guy. This is like 20 years ago. He was just flipping all the security guys off in the barricade. I'm thinking, what, man? There's some of us really like your music and got.
If Chief were here, he'd tell you what the Jake the Snakes Roberts salute would be to everybody. Jake the Snakes Robert.
Yeah,
that's his salute to each. I got to put it in a spot where you can see it. That's Jay. That's how he says hello to everybody.
You're number one, right?
Number one in your hearts.
Yeah,
that's right. All right, okay, gentlemen. Believe it or not, that does it. Because if you add in the talk before we went on the air, this show was an hour and a half long. Anyway,
yeah, you missed the first 30 minutes.
Final thoughts, George.
Same as usual. I know we're living in troubled times. Just keep your head above water. Keep getting up. Do your thing, and just keep positive. That's all you can do.
Well, let me tell you. I hope each and every one of you enjoy our show. Tune in. We always got some great stuff, great topics for you. Just, man, hang on out there, man. Be good. Kids, get good grades this year.
Absolutely.
Don't mess with your teachers. Do what they tell you.
Chief agreed with my salute. Anyway, all right, with that, reminder, tomorrow, 9 a.m., Kiwanis Connects. Governor Val and I'll actually have a guest in studio. He is a lieutenant governor from the Hawaii district, and he happens to be in town with family. We're going to talk more about what's going on in Hawaii with the fires, recovery efforts, all those sort of things. And we also have a convention coming up that will actually be hosted in Hawaii next year if everything works out well. So join us at 9. And another reminder, programming notes, Saturday, 9 to 11 a.m., 2-hour special Thoughts Count Anywhere live from Sam's Town during the Power Play Sports Collectibles, Toys, and Collectibles show. And then at noontime, Aaron Zauer will be live from there with some guy named Aaron Phillips, who will continue covering the event down there. And then Sunday, I will open the show down at Sam's Town as far as the event is concerned. Then I will whisk my way over trying to figure out how to broadcast and MC a rock, paper, scissors tournament. But for Justin, I will figure it out because this kid is dynamite. Thank you for watching, everybody. Be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. See you next time right here on TRT Roundtable.